Hello, hello. How are you doing? This is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com. Welcome into the Happy Sober podcast. And today we are talking about tools of the trade, hypnosis to quit drinking. Does it work? Good question, right? And there are lots of ads on Facebook at the moment saying that hypnosis is a cure for alcohol problems and you can stop drinking with hypnosis alone. In my experience, that's not true. I am an American board certified hypnotherapist. I've been doing hypnotherapy for 20 plus years now. I can't ever remember curing someone of an alcohol problem using only hypnosis alone. Indeed, when I was trying to fix this for myself, I tried many different hypnosis tracks by many different hypnotherapists. I even went to live sessions with hypnotherapists, and it never worked. My summary of hypnotherapy for alcohol problems is this. It's a tool in the box. That's all it is. It's not the entire toolbox. It's just one tool in the box, all right? It's probably about 10% of the overall solution. So if you're doing my course and you're doing all the things I recommend there, then maybe you're up to like 80% and you just need a few little bits added in extra. Then maybe you put in some supplementation, maybe you put in some hypnotherapy. And with all these little things together, you finally get the leverage, you get the power to actually get a hold of this civil war that's going on in your head and retake control of it. I don't believe it's powerful enough on its own to do the job. And the reason for that is that alcohol problems are so different, so varied. And actually, the alcohol problem is not really the problem. It's just a symptom of a bigger problem. So this is where hypnotherapy falls down a little bit, because if you're drinking because you're depressed and you buy an off-the-shelf hypnotherapy track that just says you don't want to drink anymore, you create a kind of negative loop, because drinking is actually serving a purpose. It is a bad solution to a problem. You're using alcohol to deal with the depression problem. Now, you're using entirely the wrong tool for the job, yes, but at the moment, your subconscious mind has a solution to the problem. If you then use hypnotherapy to get rid of the solution, you still are left with the problem. And it's worse because now you don't have a solution. Do you see what I mean? So because alcohol is a symptom and not the problem itself, it's really difficult for hypnosis to work. Again, you're drinking because you're lonely. So hypnosis takes away the alcohol. Now you're still lonely, but you've got no anesthetic to make it feel better. You see what I mean? All right. So the reason we're talking about this today is because I got an email from Thomas, and he wanted to ask a few things. Hi, Craig. I'm on part 4 of your Stop Drinking course. I watched the click today, and I must say, wow, I cried so much. It hit me so hard. And I was sober indeed, so thank you. It's a powerful movie to watch when you've done the course and I explain the metaphor of the movie. I mean, this is not some Oscar, this is not Schindler's List. This is an Adam Sandler movie, for God's sake. It's a comedy movie. But when I explain the metaphor behind it that I see, wow, it hits you hard. And Thomas had that experience. I also wonder if you have a list of books to recommend for me about quitting drinking. And that's something I do recommend you do. When you finish the course, you can either go back and start again if you want to further embed the message. But either way, I do suggest that you continue your learning. The best way to stay on this sober path is to constantly find more and more knowledge about how devious and devastating this drug is, to hate it more and more and more, to find out how it's destroying so many lives on a continuous basis. It keeps that level of contempt you have for it running high, and it helps counter the marketing messages, as you see, that tell you that alcohol is luxury, alcohol is relaxation, alcohol is socializing, all the other bullshit that they come up with. So let me give you some books that I think are really good. Let's think. I think Alcohol Explained by William Porter is fantastic. Really good book. And he also has Alcohol Explained 2. Not quite as good as the first one, but still very good. Very big fan of William Porter. Jason Vale. Jason Vale wrote a book many years ago called Kick the Drink. He's an ex-smoking cessation therapist who also turned his hand to alcohol, wrote a book many years ago. Um, Not that none of these books have something dramatically different than what I'm telling you. It's just that sometimes hearing it from a different person explained in a different way can give some people a penny drop that they didn't get from me, or vice versa. What else is there? There's a book called Drink. I think it's just called Drink exclamation mark. Now, this book isn't about quitting drinking. And in fact, the author of it drinks alcohol, still drinks alcohol. It's by someone called Dr. David Nutt. Strange name, I know, but he was the drugs czar, like the drugs expert for the UK government during the Tony Blair administration back in the late 90s. And at no point in the book does he try and convince you to stop drinking. It's not about that. It's just he's a scientist explaining to, spit my tongue there, explaining to you how alcohol works and the damage it does. And if you want a book that's not preachy at all, but gives you loads of solid facts and evidence, that's a good book to get. Drink by Dr. David Nutt. So they're good ones to get started on. Let's just jump back to Thomas's email here because we want to get back to hypnosis. He says, also, I ordered a custom hypnosis track. I also tried your other hypnosis tracks. I started using them when I go to bed, but sometimes on my couch. The question is there any way for me to know if I'm actually being hypnotized or if I'm just listening? If you understand my question, I usually lie down with noise-canceling headphones on in my bed when I listen to it. I do get relaxed, but it doesn't feel like I drift so far away. Sometimes I even catch myself thinking of daily things in the middle of the hypnosis track. Is there maybe anything I could do to be even more responsive to hypnosis? Thanks, Thomas. Great question, Thomas. Great question. Look, the problem with hypnosis and hypnotherapy is that we have a preconceived idea of what hypnosis is. And that comes from a couple of things. First of all, from Scooby-Doo. Remember Scooby-Doo? They would always, if Scooby wouldn't do something dangerous, they would hypnotize him with a watch. And you would know Scooby-Doo was hypnotized when his eyes would start to spin. And he's put his paws out in front of him and he'd go, Scooby, what would you want me to do? And he would walk around like a zombie. That's how you would know Scooby-Doo was hypnotized, right? Well, guess what? That doesn't happen, really. That's just a cartoon. The other thing is you might have seen a stage hypnotist, and he'll tap them on the shoulder and they'll just drop. They'll go, or he'll click his fingers and say sleep, and their eyes will close. And then they'll stand up and they'll think they're Marilyn Monroe, or they'll think they're Madonna performing on a stage. And it's so obvious that they've been hypnotized. And then you come to hypnotherapy and you're lying there and you're listening and you're thinking, but I'm aware that I'm listening to hypnosis. Oh, and I just heard that car go past the window. I heard that horn beep. I heard the kids downstairs making a mess. I can't be hypnotized. And that's the problem. Hypnosis is not like a trance-like state. It's not like anesthetic where you go into it, the lights go out, and then you come out of it going, what happened? Where am I? All the way through hypnosis, you are aware of your surroundings and yourself, okay? You're aware of the noises in the room. You're aware of the temperature in the room. You're aware of, you just got an itchy cheek. You're aware of random thoughts that come in. You'll be in the middle of a hypnosis track and you'll think, oh, did I pay the gas bill? Hang on, I'm supposed to be doing this. And you'll pull yourself back. And a lot of people beat themselves up then saying, oh, I can't be hypnotized because I was thinking about the gas bill. It's not working for me. Look, your mind will drift and you'll keep pulling it back. The more you do this, the less your mind will drift, the more it will stay on topic, okay? Try not to overthink it. The only thing that really kind of hampers it and prevents it working is the overthinking. Is to then get halfway through the track and say, well, it's not working. I might as well stop. Instead of seeing it like hypnosis, Thomas, imagine it's just a relaxation session. It's not a hypnotherapy track. It's a guided relaxation session with me. All right. And that's all we're doing. All I want you to do is relax. That's it. Don't worry about whether you're hypnotized. Don't worry about whether it's going in or not. The only way you can be sure it's not going in is if you're asleep. There are some kind of scams out there that suggest, you can learn French using hypnosis while you sleep. It is a scam. It's nonsense. You need to be awake. All right. Now, a lot of people do fall asleep during hypnosis because it is so relaxing. The way to get around that is to listen at a very specific time of day. And what I always say to people is, if you're a night owl, if you love to be up till 2 a.m. pottering about, then listen to your hypnosis track at night. All right. But if you're a morning person like me, I get up at 5 a.m. If you listen in the evening, you're going to fall asleep probably. Best time to listen for morning people is before 3 p.m. When I do hypnosis for myself, I listen at lunchtime. Normally I get to lunchtime, have a bite to eat, lie on the sofa, put a hypnosis track on. That way I know I'm going to stay conscious and I'm going to receive the message. All right. So I hope that helps. If you have any further questions, drop me an email via the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.
Discover the world's most successful and respected online quit drinking program today.
It's different to anything you can find out there, and it gives you real mental freedom from the clutches of alcohol.
Craig Beck helps you understand what alcohol does to you, how it works. I always recommend him to anybody.
It's just so worth it. Why did I waste all those years?
Are you finally ready to take action? Your sober journey begins 11 a.m. Sunday. Reserve your space at my next free quit drinking webinar.